In our first story, today marks Ghana's 33rd National Farmers' Day celebration. National Farmers' Day is celebrated each year to honor Ghanaian farmers and fishermen. The day is to acknowledge the role of farmers and fishermen to Ghana's socio-economic development. This year's National Farmers' Day celebration will be held in Kumasi in the Ashanti region under the theme, Farming for Food and Jobs. The national best farmer for the year 2017 will receive an amount of $100,000 as prize. According to him, the planning committee for this year's Farmers' Day celebrations veered off the usual practice of awarding a 3-bedroom house worth $100,000 to the overall best farmer. We will take you live to the ceremony grounds shortly. Joy News' Mohammed Nuruddin has been speaking to some farmers.
What are your expectations in today's event? If the background hanum in your ma what abaha what bobo and the equafo in abado who there equim sen afia abeson call now who there on my pay why a crowd or bobo agan equafampa or sound the ocean say or the aboba de planting for food and job on no or the seed or the aba in the ocean fertilizer I cano yen yebi yan fen ndia yan do bai na and then another dank akufado or say Nobano, a seed, any fertilizer, wafa, a cow no mufa, Naya Quafono so young, so near to a numufa, Nanu Fano Crown, Yaquara, and Yakutia, a fan so asking at Maybe the young Kutia Numufa, na Yabuyan of Basa, 25% Nakan, so Yasan so Yakutia at the account. They mean to Miss Equafo there. Them, she said, Pa, not Kufado, damn hen. Na see that it be end of by and fertilizer no afa no bufano me and the hamo de biarada near mama there 25% na aka no yebotua ama send nkran e ma da wotumi no watreado adam hen na ma ye ni je kasimpo ne there and the farmers dey wo yeli ye what we need there farming for food and job e say there agriculture wo de abaka ho o de emuanyan o de abaka ho na eyi offend the farming work now with the account to our farming now why there in the ministers why farming you offend doctors work of farming and now you offend the lawyers who come they say obiala lawyers and they offend obiala into sisa kwedwano wa ba there na ehwe koko krampona na donka order better budget 2018 budget mu there Yami Adma, what the princess can back here, who crampono, on Kanda Quafa, Yadia Coco Crampono, on wire as a papa and a yate. That was Robert Crensale. I mean, he praised louder the government for putting in some policies that is actually making agriculture attractive in the country. He also mentioned the fact that the current government is, working on very well on planting for food and jobs projects, and so he actually praised the government for all that the government is doing, and he advised the incoming national best farmer to work hard and harder than he did, so that we would increase food production in the country. I would speak to one of today's awardees who is here with me. I'll speak to her and also find out what are some of her expectations from today's event. I would also find out what she's doing and how she got here today. First of all, your name?
I'm Mabel Ann Akoto-Kujo from the Volta region of Ghana.
And you are into what kind of farming?
Diversity. I do a lot of farming, different crops. I have cocoa, I have palm, I do rice, I do maize, I do cassava, I have animal husbandry, and I do processing. I process everything. I do the complete value chain from production to the end user.
How did you get here today?
I was selected. I was nominated, and we had professors from the universities coming around to look at what we do, and then I was called that I had been selected to come here today.
And can I know what kind of award you'll be receiving today?
It's a national award. I don't know which one I'm taking, but I'm expecting the best.
This is your first time?
No, I've won the National Best Agro Processor 2015, and this gingered me on to be serious with my production, and it has brought me here today.
All right, thank you very much. We wish you all the best. And you are?
Nana Obin Jesse.
You would also be receiving some awards today?
Yes, of course. I'm contesting for regional.
Regional?
Regional best.
From which region?
Asante region. Yeah.
Tell us about your farming. What kind of farming system?
First of all, I would like to let you know that I'm a fetish priest. Yeah. And I have been working since 20 years now, 22 years now. I've been farming since 22 years now. And last year, I was awarded as Mampong Municipal Best Farmer. Okay. And I told them that I have to move to region. And fortunately for me, my dream has come true. And I'm still working hard towards the ultimate. And that is not my real motive. But my real motive is to work hard so that I have to prove people wrong that if you are a priest, you can do whatever you want to do aside the priesthood work. Okay. Yeah.
Do you do mixed farming or?
Yes, of course. I do mixed farming. I have animals like cattle, sheep.
How many animals?
If you say how many animals, it's a broad question. What type of animals are you talking about?
I'm talking about sheep, goat, cattle.
I have about 172 sheep, 150 cows, and then 3,750 fowls, including cocks and then broilers. Cocks and then layers.
How does it feel having all these kind of animals, under your care? Sometimes people would wonder.
Go ahead.
People would wonder.
It's nothing new to me because I have been doing that, and those of people who know whom I am knows how and what I can do. So it's like I take it like normal, but I'm very fortunate that many of my people in my village have brought them here so that they will witness. And I know when they go back, they will feel, and then they will keep on taking me as a role model and learn from me so that the youth in my village will not go or travel to stay to the cities where there's no job. They will stay at the village and then learn what I have done and to come to achieve what I have achieved.
And then finally, what would you do with the award today? I'm just curious. Once you have 100 and something sheep, goat, and cattle, what exactly?
Goat, yeah,
yes, what exactly are you going to do with today's awards?
Can you come again?
I'm asking, if you receive your award today, what will you do with it?
Oh, it's records because I am proving people wrong, as I said. So if I receive it today, I'm not going to sit down. The ultimate is my main objective, and that is not all. I want to do something new to prove people wrong in fetish work, as I said. So I'm going to work hard. I'm not going to sit down. I'm very impressed whatever I have seen over here, and I'm very, very happy. Just not because I'm here. I have meeting so many people. Besides that, I've been here in Kumasi for almost 1 week.
Still on Farmers Day, former President John Dramani Mahama has congratulated farmers and fishermen across the country on the occasion of Farmers Day. In a post on Facebook, the former Ghanaian leader said his administration started working on addressing issues of access to finance and mechanized equipment to help boost productivity and profits. He said his government reinvigorated the agricultural mechanization centers and launched a farmer services center program that was going to make available affordable and modern equipment to all farmers across the country. Adding, the NDC government also initiated a program to attract more of youth into farming. Cocoa farming used to be a major economic activity in Ghana's Volta region until bushfires and bad farming practices brought it down on its knees decades ago. Now, a new initiative is seeking to revive the industry by introducing farmers to modern technology in cocoa farming. As Ghana marks Farmers' Day today, Joy News' Justice Baidu visited the small town of Saviepe in the Whole West District to find out about this initiative and now reports.
Soweto Range, one of Ghana's most prized biodiversity landmarks, home to breathtaking landscapes and once upon a time a big cocoa growing area. Now, it's a pale shadow of its former self, caused in part by wild bushfires, climate change, and unsustainable farming practices.
Every year, bush burns. for Kishie and this type of survival. We have seen that it's affecting the vegetation seriously because tree species are going away. Plant species are being burnt all the time, and animals too are being burnt at the same time. So everything in the vegetation is going just like that.
Like many communities in southern Ghana, these yellow pods have always been a symbol of the beating heart for local economies like Saviepe. It doesn't look much like a huge cocoa farming community because of events in the past. But now these farmers, backed by modern technology, are hoping to revive a bustling cocoa industry. Many of Ghana's cocoa farmers use old seedlings which would usually take about 5 years to bear fruit. Now, under this new project, these farmers are being introduced to improved seeds that could mature within 3 years. On top of that, new technology and fertilizer.
The communities will form groups. We nest cocoa, we nest 3 seedlings, and we distribute cocoa seedlings to them. They plant in their own farm. As for this farm, it's the demonstration farm. We started this project in 2012, and about 5 years now, you see the cocoa. Now they have started harvesting cocoa. So, the next 2-3 years, you will see a lot of. You see that they are benefiting a lot.
We used to have cocoa here, but fires took everything away and brought us poverty. Now this new organization is helping us bring the industry back. We will need help from government to make this initiative work.
This means improved yield and quicker turnaround time. For centuries, cocoa has been the mainstay of Ghana's economy, now contributing nearly a quarter of the country's GDP. A slump in its production could have dire consequences. It's the reason why initiatives like the one being pioneered by the farmers of Saviepe is being hailed as a lifeline to resuscitating the sector in this part of the country. Join me.
This is Joy News Today. Stay tuned in.
Every second, something happens. You need to bring it to the world's attention. Be a citizen, not a spectator. MTN and Joy News want you to have that power. Use your phone, capture the moment in not more than a minute, and WhatsApp it to 0244 466 606. We'll connect you to the rest of the world. MTN I Report. You are the citizen journalist.
GRA requests you to be a good citizen. Pay your taxes to enable government provide free SHS, good schools, and fund the National Health Insurance Scheme. Taxpayers are nation builders. Hashtag our taxes, our future.
If you just joined, this is News Today on Joy News. We take you back to Kumasi, where Farmers' Day is being marked.
Heads of religious bodies and organizations, our most esteemed farmers and all our award winners, representatives of the food and agriculture organizations, representatives of development partners, directors of staff of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, and the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, members of the National and Regional Planning Committees for the National Farmers' Day, friends from the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. With a profound sense of duty and honor, I welcome you all to the 33rd National Farmers' Day, which is being commemorated under the theme, Farming for Food and Jobs. This year's Farmers' Day is significant in several respects. Among others, it is the first under the patronage of His Excellency, the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the current government of the New Patriotic Party. The occasion also assumes a new importance because it is being celebrated at a time when agriculture is taking center stage in Ghana's economic development agenda. Also worth noting is that the celebration of this year's Farmers' Day has witnessed some major changes in terms of structure and the number of awardees. For the first time ever, the celebrations have been organized with a fair exhibiting farm products, inputs, and machinery over an 8-day period. The high point of the fair is today, Farmers' Day. Each region has been given the opportunity to showcase its agriculture. For very good reasons, the celebrations are being held only at the national and district levels. The award categories have also been reduced to give a better focus and ensure the provision of enhanced packages for deserving farmers. Mr. President, Nana Chairman, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture is responsible for implementing the vision of the President to modernize and transform agriculture. That is why from the day His Excellency the President launched the strategic policy initiative of Planting for Food and Jobs in April this year, the ministry has worked tirelessly with all stakeholders, that is farmers, development partners, the business community, technical experts, financial institutions, and the media to give life and meaning to the President's vision and agenda for transformation. We have had no delusions about the enormity of the challenge as we fully appreciate the critical questions of where we are and where are we going. The President's mission is clear: to transform agriculture from its poor performance, including subsistence farming, slow growth, obsolescence, low productivity, weak financial support, and high post-harvest losses, into a technology and business-driven agriculture that guarantees increased productivity, food security, profitability, and reduced post-harvest losses. Bottom line, government seeks to make agriculture a more attractive and sustainable avenue for employment and investment for both Ghanaians and foreigners alike. This has called for the design of policies and strategies that are informed by lessons of the past in our own country and the success stories of other countries worth emulating. It has also called for a systematic and well-coordinated approach to ensure realization of the vision of our President. Nana Chairman, Mr. President, numerous interventions have been rolled out by government through the ministry, and these are designed to provide impetus for increased production and productivity, as well as promote private sector investments in the sector. I'm happy to note that with the introduction of these interventions, appreciable progress has been made as reflected in the sector's growth rate of nearly 4.8% in the first 9 months of this year alone. This is before taking account of the strong growth that we are witnessing in the last quarter of the year, October-December 2017. This contrasts with the 2016 annual growth of 3.6%. Notable interventions that have contributed significantly to this positive development includes the timely supply of affordable inputs, improved seeds and fertilizers to farmers at heavily subsidized prices, provision of ready market for farm produce through the strengthening of the National Buffer Stock Company, improvement in infrastructure, and increased access to agricultural mechanization services and agricultural extension delivery to farmers. It has to be placed on record that the success we have posted so far has been achieved even in the face of some serious constraints, particularly the fall army-wide invasion, which government through the ministry has effectively managed to bring under total control. In the coming year, 2018, Nana Chairman, there's every reason to be optimistic that the agricultural sector will build on the foundation laid in 2017, since we are going to have a full year of implementation of the Planting for Food and Jobs program, which is designed to take Ghana to another level. The theme for this year's Farmers Celebration is Farming for Food and Jobs. This tells us what to expect as we move forward. The ministry will, in addition to the 5 crops supported in 2017, adopt cassava and groundnut production in the 2018 campaign. We shall also step up support for livestock and poultry production, small-scale irrigation development, and increase mechanization services, in particular to small holdings. And we are targeting from 200,000 farmers, as we did in 2017, 500,000 farmers, 500,000 farmers in the coming 2018. These programs come with inherent opportunities, for most of which will find expression in the development of the agricultural value chain. Another important piece of good news which I had occasion to share with the people of Ghana on Thursday this week is the lifting of the ban by the European Union on the export to the EU countries of 5 selected vegetables produced in Ghana. We have worked tirelessly since we came into office in January to ensure that this ban is lifted this year, at the end of the year. And this ban had been in place since 2015, and the conditions for lifting the ban had been defied by the authorities at the time, and it's taken us to come within a matter of 9 months to work so hard to get the ban lifted. One is tempted to believe that there was some divine intervention given the timeliness of the lifting of the ban and the great opportunity it presents to our farmers and the country as a whole. Most significantly, Mr. President, Nana Chairman, government through the 2018 budgets has demonstrated its unwavering commitment to prioritize the transformation of agriculture as a catalyst for accelerated economic development. The highlights of the budget lend credence to this claim. The expected recruitment of 2,700 extension agents to support the Planting for Food and Jobs, the planned increase in the production of selected crops for food security and job creation, the removal of duties and agro-processing and manufacturing equipment and machinery, the implementation of a grant funding facility for agro-business startup, and the e-agriculture. The e-registration of farmers, the One Village, One Dam initiative, the One District, One Warehouse project, amongst others, all serve to reinforce government's determination to revolutionize agriculture. We at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture are poised for action to provide leadership and technical support and direction to ensure significant achievement for the agricultural sector. Clearly, these are exciting times for the agricultural sector, and everything possible will be done to exploit the enormous potential the sector presents for accelerated national development. Now, Chairman, I invite you all to come on board to support the efforts and the mission of government towards realization of its goals and objectives. In this respect, I have appeared before the National House of Chiefs here in Kumasi to appeal to Nananam to establish their own farms. One chief, one farm. I made a similar appeal to members of Parliament when I appeared before Parliament only yesterday. We have launched the school SHS component of the campaign at Ukwapiman SHS in September this year, and plans are well advanced to launch both the urban and tertiary education components of planting for food and jobs. So you see, Mr. Chairman, we are on our way to engage all sections of society in this massive effort by the government of the New Patriotic Party to turn around the fortunes of agriculture, to transform the sector and lead it in transforming the economy of this country. I wish to take this opportunity to thank all our stakeholders, particularly our development partners, for their invaluable support during the year. We are very grateful, and we eagerly look forward to greater collaboration in the years ahead. To all corporate entities and individuals who have contributed by way of donation to the organization of this year's Farmers' Day, we thank you all very much for your kind gesture. I wish you a happy Farmers' Day celebration, and may God richly bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One chief, one farm. One MC, one farm.
And that was the Minister for Agriculture. Let's move on to some other stories. A number of structures at Kanda Estate in Accra have been demolished. The structures were built on lands belonging to the Ghana Water Company Limited, but were illegally acquired and taken over by squatters and encroachers. According to the victims, they were only served 2 days' notice to evacuate the place. My colleague Parker Wilson has come with more.
Scores of Ghanaians here at Kanda are watching with little or no resistance as the Ghana Water Company Limited and with collaboration with the military are raising down their structures here. Occupants are not happy. In fact, some of them have been seen removing their items from their shops because the earth-moving equipment is shredding their properties. Now, let's have a conversation with the owner of this washing bay that I'm standing here right now to find out from him how he's taking this demolition exercise, probably whether being given prior notice or it just took them by a surprise. I say, good morning. You say there's a demolition exercise going on. Now, ube to me, I catch whether they give you a prior notice and I say, Mama, notice be.
Last Thursday, when I'm reaching area, people might say 3 days time, you're moving free here. Tonight, we should be on my enough time, but 3 months to be. Let me organizing net to 3 machines. It was a to be a NRA, as a NRA, who say, ECG4 by some baby disconnected all the line. Almost on baby bubuha. That's not too late. Me and you and maybe I see ye. But and I do am to say so my baby bubu. I was saying emergency BBA.
Meaning, sir, we employ a number of people. Nipa saying we employ you more.
So you nipa best at least about 68 to 71 workers.
You say you washing bay, no? Dear number, dear now by your mom.
Oh, say dear. I don't know. Which one you need to go around here? The fans are not. Me don't want to buy trans and yahweh. Cause me moment. The meeting I could manage maybe I'm no more to me see as on conquer. They appeal to the government. So bet me I am more. Come Jesus say, "I'm penny more." A person be a wait me aboy. Because in first we am penny. You opposite pay kwafita for. Untu omo. Onyo omo hwe. Omo kusu yo omo adwuma. Ne bibi ofako na adwuma. Say Osuja for say high security zone tino. Omba be tu a. Omba be tu every ha. Na me yon wa menti ase. Cause o ma nhwe nipa eye adwuma wa ha. Machine say eye adwuma wa ha. Machine say eye adwuma wa ha. Nipa eye adwuma wa ha. Nana meti news there nipa be akwa stranded on Libya. A mu nyina adwuma mu nyanya nti mu nyina akọye. Na mo hwe adwuma wa ha ni nipa gu eye adwuma. On pese Ghana fo nyina sa gogu Libya na ban fa play ba sa be stand ba. E better na se. Cause ya na anwen say na na to pe 1 2 3 so am fa 3 opete adwuma ba o man no bi so ti ma ye bia. Ebi ma e mo ne san say na e wo ho ne de. Menti ase. Te kaka mitimi aka no no.
When you say why investment pa ewa a cabin do send our ball or sad demolition exercise here.
Me machine ya why red one be on my send why that red one come turn $18,000. See why I say close to make sure all these machines are as for alignment side, on one must spend more than $72,000 because we last 2 years do not say back away and now other one are breaking in. The real machines are all this I coming to me about I must spend almost $70,000 to $72,000. And I'm services that machines in a few US. And I'm never made a
Essentially, he's been narrating his ordeal to me, and basically he's been saying that he's employed over 70 people who are working here. Of course, if you look at the effects where the 70 people, they also have family members. Some do have wives and kids where they take care of them. So it's a sad situation for them. He has also indicated that, well, it was just last night that they got the information or received the information that the Ghana Water Company Limited were moving in to raise down their properties because they are illegally occupying these lands, and then they didn't really have enough time to move away their things. So we're getting answers from the Ghana Water Company Limited as to what influenced their decision to embark on this exercise.
The mere thought of trying to secure our property, as simple as that. These structures have been here for quite some time. All attempts to evacuate them have proved futile. So the issue was settled in court. The Supreme Court gave their ruling in favor of Ghana Water Company. And we just feel like we need to demolish these structures and then build our wall so that we can secure our premises. We've got one flat here, another one here. I think the one in the middle belongs to GBC. So as you can see, these structures are not, touched. And then we have 1, 2 over there. So we're just trying to pave way so that we can build our wall and then secure our premises. For some years now, the staff who live here have had problems with thieves. They have been robbed on several occasions, and so we feel that, well, for the welfare of our staff, for the good of Ghana Water Company, maintaining and keeping its structures, we feel like building our wall to secure our premises, just like anybody would do to his or her property. And so that's how come you see this thing going on here.
How many months' notice did you give to the occupants of these structures?
We gave notices in 2015, 2016, and then this year also.
But I've gathered that you gave them just about 3 days notice to evacuate.
Prior to the 3 days notice, just like I said, we started way back in 2015. So 2015, 2016, I think it's even more than 6 months. So it gives you ample time to prepare, not so. And initially we had planned to do this last week Sunday, but it was postponed to today. So I think we've been fair enough, giving enough notices since the court ruling.
Parliament's Subsidiary Legislation Committee is demanding amendment to a new legislative instrument seeking to legalize the use of exams and interviews to cut down admissions to the Ghana Law School. The Supreme Court ruled earlier this year the current system is unconstitutional and gave the school until December to fix it. Government has since introduced a new LI to give legal backing to the process, but the MPs want the interview provision removed from the law. Member of the committee, Mahama Shaibu, tells Joy News the committee will only agree for the LI to be laid on the floor after several other protests against it are dealt with.
Well, at our last meeting, some of our stakeholders came in to make their input. And so at the committee level, we asked that the stakeholders who had different input to put into the bill, we asked that they should present a paper, and then the committee will consider that paper before we lay it in Parliament.
Okay. So if I get you clearly, the LI has been brought to your attention, as in the Special Legislative Committee. You have the LI now, but then there's opposition to it from others. And they are the ones that you've asked them to present the petition. What exactly are the concerns that they are raising? Are you able to tell me?
Well, there are many issues have been raised. Some do not actually border on the authority itself, because when you construct an LI, it hinges on a parent law. That's why a legislative instrument seeks to do. And so you construct those laws in conformity with the parent law. And therefore, some of the issues that came up had to do with issues outside of that. But then some too were within the parameters of the law. And so that's the reason the committee asked that they come back again with a paper that seeks to clarify issues that they think are at variance with the Parent Act. If the issues that are raised are not substantially different from what we already have in the LI, it may not prevent the LI from being laid. But my understanding also is that, there are some other petitions that have been filed against certain clauses that are put in there, i.e. an interview to be conducted before this is granted. And we have raised issues even at that level that a human interface is something that, as much as possible, if we can do away with it, because the criticism is that people come for interviews and questions that are asked are not even legal. Some people came to tell the committee that they went and they were asking them football questions, for instance. We cannot substantiate that anyway. But generally, we are saying that the interview is not just, it has a human sort of interface.
Central Regional Minister Kwame Duncan has charged district directors of education to work hard to change the trend where basic school pupils who come from the Central Region are unable to make it onto its endowed schools. Speaking at a breakfast meeting with the directors, traditional authorities and other heads of department, the regional minister urged them to put their shoulders to the wheel and deal with the challenge. Richard Kwejuniako was there and has filed the following report.
The breakfast meeting, the first of its kind to be organized by the Central Regional Minister, had a simple agenda: to bring the many minds in the region together, to put the region's best foot forward, to address the failings of the region on tourism, sanitation and education. Using the trump card the region has, the regional minister believes the region has been a pale shadow of itself for a very long time and needed a reawakening. Kwame Duncan's aim is to ensure that the educational fortunes in the region receive a total turnaround.
It is our business, therefore, whether you hail from this region or not, because it is because our forebears laid the foundation and made it possible. That is why you are head of the centralized department. That is why you have found the peace and the environment to be able to do what you are doing here. But if we fail to do our part, contribute to build a stronger central region, a stronger community, a stronger society, your descendants, whether you came from Northern Region or Bronga, Hafu and the rest of them, that opportunity that you have today will not be there. I intentionally got our district directors of education here, that if we are district director of education, that for the period that you'll be here, no girl, no boy has been able to make it to the Infantipims, to the Augustins, to the Adisadals, to the Wesley girls, to the Holy Childs, and the rest of them. District director. I'm not saying that you must be carrying the burden, you must be carrying the burden. But that, if you look hard, if you got the supervisors, the second supervisors to be on the ground, and to ensure that supervision was good in the schools, and you zeroed in in the schools that are doing well and promote them. Those average, lifting them. We will begin to see the Augustins and the Adesados being populated by our own.
Many participants to the breakfast meeting felt fired up, promised to replicate ideas picked from the meeting in their districts. The mayor of Cape Coast, Ernest Arthur, is one of them.
Very well. It shouldn't take me more than a month or two to do same, because if you really want the good of your people, especially in terms of sanitation and education, such stakeholders must be put together to have discussions and then see the way forward. So I'm going to do just that.
We go back to the Farmers' Day celebration in Kumasi, where the president is about addressing the crowd.
To Rural Development, Minister for the Interior, Minister for Aviation, Minister of State for Food and Agriculture, and Chairperson of the Planning Committee, Deputy Ministers for Food and Agriculture, Ministers of State, Regional Deputy Ministers of State, Members of Parliament, Kumasi Metropolitan Chief Executive, traditional rulers, members of the Diplomatic Corps, esteemed farmers, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. As the saying goes, if you ate today, thank a farmer. So we know we have to thank farmers every day. But the first Friday of December is put aside to celebrate our farmers and say a special thank you for feeding us every day. I'm glad to be here and be part of the recognition that we give to all our farmers, all the participants along the agricultural value chain. Chairperson, I'd like to reiterate the government's appreciation and thank the Asantehene, Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, for accepting to host the Farmers' Day celebration in the midst of the preparations for the final funeral rites of his beloved mother, that most excellent Asantehema, Nanefia Sewa Kubi Ampem, who deserves the finest of funerals. Otumfuo Asantehene, we're grateful. Chairperson, the theme for this year's celebration, Farming for Food and Jobs, is clearly inspired by government's vision to transform and modernize agriculture, and is anchored in the flagship initiative dubbed Planting for Food and Jobs, which I launched earlier this year at Goso in the Brong Ahafo region. I'm glad that the program has caught the public attention and imagination, and we all buy into the potential of agriculture as a source of wealth and jobs. Ours is a blessed land, and we have all the ingredients, not only to feed ourselves, but also to generate jobs and create wealth and prosperity through the modernization of and the change in attitude towards agriculture. We were in danger of allowing agriculture to fall into the doldrums and finding excuses for why this was happening. In the last 10 years or so, the contribution of agriculture to GDP plummeted from a high of 42% to a low of 18.5% in 2016. Some say that Ghana may be suffering from the Dutch disease in the wake of the discovery and production of oil. Others have attributed the decline to the growth of the services sector. Whilst there may be some merit in all these arguments, I am persuaded that there is still a lot to be gained from modernizing and investing in agriculture. Problems of post-harvest losses, low productivity, weak link with industry, low application of technology, insufficient agro-financing, land tenure issues, weaknesses along the agricultural value chain, all contribute to the flagging fortunes of agriculture. We can and we should overcome these problems if we keep our focus, ensure efficient and effective implementation of policies and programs, and rally fully behind government to give agriculture the decisive impulse it needs to take its pride of place once again. Chairperson, just in case there are left some to be persuaded, I wish to state that this government is convinced that agriculture is a key driver of growth and development. The modernization of agriculture will thus remain a priority of government. Our prescription for tackling the problems of the agricultural sector is to operationalize a comprehensive plan to enhance food security, improve farm productivity, strengthen linkages with industry, and thereby create jobs, improve rural livelihoods, and wealth for all Ghanaians. The thrust of the key policies in pursuance of the objectives is to promote agribusiness by placing emphasis on agricultural value chain development in partnership with the private sector. We believe this is the way to transform Ghana's agriculture as we target to move from subsistence to a business-centered approach to agriculture. Chairperson, we aim to pay attention to all and not neglect any subsector in the pursuit of our goal. So far, there have been numerous interventions in the crops, fisheries, and livestock subsectors as part of our agenda to transform agriculture. The efforts are producing encouraging results, even though a lot more remains to be done. The crop sector, which is the key driver of growth of the agricultural sector, has this year benefited from various interventions through the Program for Planting for Food and Jobs. These include the distribution of improved seeds, improved extension services, acquisition of agricultural machinery and equipment from Brazil under the, quote, More Food International program, unquote, amongst others. Most of these equipments are being used in diverse ways along the agricultural value chains, which include land preparation, seeding, crop protection, harvesting, and primary processing. I am pleased to learn that farmers and operators are being trained to acquire the requisite knowledge and skills to operate the machinery professionally. Linked to this, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has established 2 agricultural mechanization training centers at Winchi and Adidome with funding support from the government of Japan. This is to prolong the lifespan of the equipment, to ensure their optimum use and benefit to farmers. Chairperson, in line with government's target of promoting all year-round cropping, preparatory activities are ongoing to implement the One Village, One Dam agriculture development agenda. I can report that 320 small dams and dugout sites in 64 districts in the northern part of the country have been earmarked for development. Additionally, 192 will be evaluated in 2018 for development there. A provisional list of 51 dams in Volta, Greater Accra, and Central regions has been submitted for consideration for rehabilitation. A water transmission project to distribute water from rivers Oti, the Black and White Volta, to communities for productive cultivation will begin next year and will bring up to 90,000 hectares under irrigation. Implementation of an agricultural program with the help of multilateral partners will potentially also bring about 1,732 hectares of land under irrigation through solar pumping from rivers, sinking of boreholes, rehabilitation of existing irrigation schemes, and construction of new ones. Chairperson, agricultural finance has been identified by the private sector as one of the most limiting factors to invest in agriculture. The Ghana Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing Agricultural Lending Scheme, GIRSL, initiated with the assistance of AGRA, seeks to improve and provide incentives for commercial lending to agribusinesses in Ghana. It is designed to reduce the risks in the agricultural sector with guaranteed funds, insurance, and capacity building of businesses as its key pillar. It will certainly be a reliable facility for the development of commodity value chains. In addition to this facility is the Outgrower and Value Chain Fund, which has been available for the past 7 years. We would use these instruments to increase access to finance and encourage the much needed private sector investment in agriculture. Road infrastructure has also been identified as critical for private sector investment in agriculture. Consequently, we are intensifying our efforts to develop the road network through the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. There is also support from the multilateral institutions for the development of a good number of strategic roads in the country. Chairperson, a thriving agriculture sector engenders prosperity in our society. Government will continuously support food production for domestic consumption, provision of raw materials for industry, and exports. We aim to increase incomes and enhance livelihoods for farmers and their households. I wish to reaffirm government's determination and commitment to developing a sustainable, sound, and vibrant agricultural sector that enhances the performance of all agricultural commodity value chain actors. I take this opportunity to call for the support of all stakeholders, including our gallon farmers, fisherfolk, value chain actors, entrepreneurs, financial institutions, and friends of Ghana towards the realization of government's agenda of transformation of the agricultural sector. I thank you all for your kind attention and wish you a happy and memorable Farmers' Day celebration. May God bless us all and our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong.
Another big one for His Excellency the President of the Republic.
You're still watching Joy News Today here on Joy News. We'll be right back with Showbiz.